cheap. And depending on the program you want, they'll go from you. It's usually one month.
Yeah, pretty much every 4 to 6 weeks, we're running something. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock, once we see people in the place, we have meetings. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock, where we're doing constant training, making sure that we keep up on all techniques. And on the weekends, St. John's is great for covering events, or road race, the America's Cup, all sorts of events. That's what St. John's is good for, a rugby classic and so forth. So the races down at the south side, they can't happen or they can't go on if St. John's is not there. So the hospital EMTs, well, we can't be everywhere. We take care of the rest of the community. But for events, that St. John's is great.
Can I also add in that St. John's is 100% volunteer. We rely on donations from the public to survive and support ourselves. And we're not Band-Aid stickers as people used to think St. John's was 20 or 30 years ago. We've got doctors, EMTs, nurses. Veronica, we're fully trained EMRs. So when that ambulance is rolling, there's one of us in there. And glad to give our time and effort because we believe in helping the community. For the EMT's motto, EMT, being an EMT is not a job, it's a calling. Blood, guts, broken bones, CPR, whatever it takes. Point is wanting to serve our fellow brothers and sisters and taking care of our community. That's important to us. So we do it because we want to. It's a calling. Any other questions?
Good. So, I especially asked Veronica to come and make her presentation because even though we put a lot of effort into precautions for health and safety, we hope we don't have to use it. But at the end of the day, it's still important that we take that extra step in order to protect our workers as well as our fellow friends. Okay. Our next presenter is Ms. Norette Simmons. Okay. Norette is the sister of Suzette, Juliet, Dornette, a whole bunch of Eds. Not only is she a middle school netball coach, not only applying her skills on the court, but she has also mastered her field of accounting. Okay, using her expertise as a driving force to champion some of our most important projects to date, making Bermuda the island that we know it today. Okay, so
yes, the landscape of the thanks, Brandon. Landscapers are very important to our island. They bring up the greenery and keep us beautiful. Takes the brown and turn it to green. So the nominees for Landscaper of the Year is Horsefield, Jaquan Balbuda, Royal, Oscar Riley, Landscaping, Justin Joseph, Ronnie Company, Marty Brown, Landscaping, David Lindo. Is Jaquan Balbuda. That's from Last project we done was Morgan's Point.
okay, our next presenter is Ms. Manish. I met Ms. Manish many years ago. She is going to be presenting the precast installer of the year. Okay. So, about 10 years ago we met, and she was actually, she impressed me with her diligence and her work. She wanted to make sure that everyone on site was qualified at what they did, and she did a good job of ensuring that everyone was placed in the correct skills that they exemplified. So, therefore, this evening, she's going to be presenting the Precast Installer of the Year. Please say welcome to Miss Monica. Monica. Good, good. Indeed. Okay, good.
Well, good evening, everyone.
So the
The
nominees.
nominees for this evening, we have for Perconco, Dexter Baird. Under Dale Fox, Miguel Burke. Under Dale Fox Construction as well, Nathan Webb. Under Perconco, Devon Rowland. Leon Wiltshire. And the winner is Dexter Baird.
Okay. So, our next category is actually scaffolding. No, I'm going to do it myself. Okay, so what we realized was that some of the major companies on sites, they were using the exact same scaffolding system, which was very good. It's very high quality, and you can't get it wrong, to be quite honest. What we realized was that they were using different terms for the different parts of the scaffolding. So we want to be clear that part of the programs that you use isn't to discourage you from whatever terms you use, from whatever backgrounds you come from, but we wanted to have a level playing field and to have proof of training that all those that were using those gear, those parts, those scaffolding, could prove that they understood the terminology coming from OSHA. Okay, and that's with all the different divisions, but especially with scaffolding. Okay, well, when I was in Santo Domingo, I saw some of the nicest buildings you could ever see. Top class, top quality, everything. Okay, but they were using bamboo, literally bamboo pieces, right? They were tying it, with rope. Then when we came here and we saw these systems, we said, Bermuda has a very high class of workmanship, and we want to be recognized for what we do, and we want to have proof of training for what we do. So that's part of the reason why we put on these programs, so that we can exemplify that we are at the standard of the highest standards in the region. Okay, so the nominees for Scaffolder of the Year is from TKS, Mr. Stephen DaCosta. From Bermuda Scaffolding System, Mr. Cody Charles. From Bermuda Scaffolding again, Mr. Glenn Taylor. And from TKS, Mr. Walter Career. And the winner for Scaffolding of the Year for this year is going to be Mr. Stephen DaCosta. Good. Okay, our last division is going to be electrical. So what we realized was that the Bermuda College does a very good job with the electrical program, and we never really highlighted it per se. We want to highlight all those ones that we thought might have been getting skipped over, and we actually ended up skipping over electrical, not in the sense that we didn't want to, but they already have a very high class system at the Bermuda College. So the Bermuda College has asked that everyone that is doing electrical make sure that they are enrolled in the system, as well as be able to distinguish themselves from the regular workers, so that we want to ensure that every single body in Bermuda can solidify their place in their trade. Okay? And the nominees for Electrician of the Year from Bermuda Air Conditioning Universal Electric is what they're called nowadays, Mr. Akeem Tolbert. From Pure Performance, Mr. Brian Simons. From ACS, Mr. Jordan Hill. And from BUE, Mr. Tony Cheeseman. And this year's winner is Mr. Jordan Hill. Okay, now last but not least, when we started putting the program together, we listed all the divisions, which was good. A lot of guys came to me and said, Brandon, what about us? What about the truck drivers? Okay? And the truck driver doesn't have its own division, because the truck driver will go towards whatever division it is that you guys are doing. But we added a division this year, specifically for truck driving. Okay? And this year, the nominees for truck driving was from Smith's Hauling, okay, Mr. Jason Smith. From Career Construction, Mr. Neville Grant. From Caisa, Mr. Gerald Georges. Sorry. And this year's winner for Truck Driver of the Year is Mr. Jason Smith. So these are this year's winners, okay? And Mr. Adley is going to make a speech.
I'm not going to make a speech. I'm not here to sing John Diamond sing. Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here. It's nice to see you guys here. Just want to let you go a little bit talking about health and safety. I actually have a company called WorkSafe Bermuda. I teach confined space. I teach scaffolding. I teach fall arrest. I teach regulations. I think the biggest problem that we have in Bermuda is, I'm embarrassed to say, Acorn is coming, bless their souls, and they're making us pay attention to laws that we've had on this island since 1982. I'm very, very embarrassed as a health and safety consultant, is what I am by profession, for somebody else coming into our islands and telling us to pay attention to our laws. You know, when we get in our car and we drive down the street, we know what? We know the speed limit's what? 35 miles, 35K. Right? When we go into a confined space, do we know we have to be trained in confined space? Do we know we have to have a meter? Do we know we have to have a retrieval system? When we work at heights, do we know that anything above 6'6", we need to be tethered off? Right? We have to be trained and certified in this. Yeah? And I'm happy that they're coming here, and I'm happy that our construction industry is moving in that way. Yeah? I just wish government would spend a little more time educating the employers what their responsibilities are to the employees under the legislation in Bermuda, the Occupational Health and Safety Act of 1982 and the Occupational Health and Safety Regulations of 2009. So this is nothing new. Everybody tells me Acon's coming here, they're over the top, they're being silly. No, they're not. They're making us pay attention to what we should be paying attention to since 1982. And this is an advert. If anybody wants training, I'm here to train. Thank you very much.
Okay, so, moving on to next, is drywall of the year. As we were saying, many of the workers that, especially at the hospital, came from overseas. And I was involved in that project. Now the thing is that what I can say about the hospital project as well as BCM in California as well as Dr. McDonald, they actually exhausted the entire community manpower. They employ people who never had jobs before and gave them a shot. Right? So I cannot, say anything negative about that. And then after that, that's when they started bringing in actual workers. Now, back in June 2013, our safety program was rated as the best in the Caribbean. Okay, we got an award, but it wasn't nothing fun about it. Okay, because during that time, we realized that we needed it, and we needed it bad, because we had an influx of workers that were coming, and everybody was working next to each other. Not everyone had personal protective equipment. Okay, or the drywallers did because they were used to their trade. But they'll be working right next to someone who may be an electrician or plumber who wasn't ready for the dust that was being created. And that was a fast learning curve that we had to go through in order to protect our workers. Okay, so that was a learning experience for us. It was a coordination issue, not a health and safety issue. But we had to bring it up and address it in order to protect everyone. So the nominees for Division 9 Drywall of the Year from C2, Mr. Keith Cody. From Gray Main, Mr. Muggs Ernest McCallan. From APC, Mr. Robert Trutt. And from Renaissance, Mr. Mukhtar Jabbar. This year's winner for Drywall of the Year came with his whole family. Mr. Mukhtar Jabbar. Good. So, can we get a picture with all the winners? Can we get a picture with all the winners? This is the last one. And all the presenters, please. Veronica. I know. Okay, this being internationally recognized, we want to highlight those workers who put in that extra effort, not just in their trade, but also in health and safety. Congratulations to all our 2018 winners. Good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We have food and refreshments for everyone. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for
Hey, I'm looking all right, you know what? I like that.
Wow.
you're right. There you go.
Shut up, shut up. What's that? Thank you. That was very
Hey, Tom. Tom.